3, 2, 1, go.
Hi everyone, my name is Marco Sammicheli, Director of the Museo del Design Italiano of Triennale, Milano, and I'd like to welcome here Ralf Groene, Head of Industrial Design of Microsoft. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
My first question is about what is your relationship with the history of design?
So I started out, as you said, in Germany. I was born and grew up in a town called Wolfsburg, which is probably only known for having VW there as a headquarter. Everyone I know still works for VW directly or indirectly. And I had a friend who moved to New York, and back then I bought a fax machine. I had a small job, I bought a fax machine because it looked a bit more professional. The only person I knew who had a fax machine was my friend in New York. I sent a fax. The fax came back saying, "Hey Ralf, would you like to do an internship?" So I went in my 4th semester to New York City. It was the first time I was on an airplane. My English was almost non-existent. It was good that I could sketch to communicate. And there I was exposed to the world of design from a very broad perspective. It was designers. I worked at a company, Walter Dove Antique, one of the oldest design firms on Columbus Circle in Manhattan. And there were designers, there were engineers, there were researchers, and I was exposed to this kind of multi-disciplinary way of working and thinking, and I got completely inspired.
Have you ever thought that this could happen to you, or you ever envisioned this, that okay, in my career, one day I'm gonna be in that position?
Being by coincidence at the right moment, at the right place has a lot to do with where I ended up. I moved, after graduating, I found a job in Silicon Valley in 1997. And what I found was, I had a connection with this medium of computing. I don't know how to code, but I always found it fascinating. There's an object, and inside that object there's now life. There's a software that enables you things that could not be done before. Because at the end of the day, it is computers today, or how I see them is a tool to have humans connect, personally or in business. And so this is how it started.
I'd like to hear from your point of view, what is at the moment the contribution of a big corporation like Microsoft, and in specific, what contribution, what you are doing in order to change and get a better life, because there's nothing more than design that affects our life.
Right. For me, and also for Microsoft is grounded in enabling humans and corporations. And what it means, we enable every human and corporation to do more, right? To achieve their goals, to achieve more. What it means is it grounds it in humans. And so you get technology, and technology is constantly evolving at a very high speed. Humans are much slower, and our role as designers is to curate the speed of technology with what is right for humans. One of the departments that just joined our team is the education department. And if you look, just for example, in the United States, there are many areas where families don't have thousands of dollars to buy high-end computers. And it's very important for us to kind of democratize, to give children in this case, or students, the ability to participate in computing. And not every computer needs to be high-end in design or components.
I would love to hear from you, if you allow me, to share advices to young designers that they are listening to you. It's like, what should they do? Books to read, travels to make, or approaches?
That is a wonderful question. Today, there's a young person growing up with the dream of becoming an architect or a designer because they have the passion in their heart. And then the next thing is they go on Instagram or Facebook and try to see what other people do. And if I go to Facebook or Instagram and look what other people do, the bar seems to be so high, unreachable. And so I would like to encourage everyone to be unique, because everyone is unique, and it doesn't matter how other people's portfolios look. It matters what's inside your head and in your heart, and working on finding the courage to express this, and that will be good enough.
I totally agree in the sense that we don't need to be all number ones. We need to be unique.
You need to be number you.
Number you. I like it. I like it. And you come from Wolfsburg with a great automotive history. Mm-hmm. You shared with me that you had the chance to meet Dieter Rams, like great maestros of German and European design. Do you think that is in your DNA in somehow were sneaked into some of your drawings or ideas or elements?
I think the answer must be that there are absolutely traces from how I was brought up. The design school I went through was very much rooted in the concept of Bauhaus, form follows function, and so on. Later in my career, I discovered, there's the reasoning of design and making sure, you have the right structure, which is, I think, very important. But then there's also emotion. And there's always, to me, there's content, what it is, and then there's expression, how it is. I find myself starting out creating original concepts without any research. And then once the concept is defined, then I love to put it into the public and then step back from the canvas and observe. The very first line of surface, we almost had no research, but we had an idea, we had passion around it. And then we went to the market, and we very quickly understood, what are the things, where does the recipe need tuning and finding different balance points. And then over time, second generation, third generation of the product line then became really refined and successful in the public. Having that dialogue, I think it is always this mix between finding the internal vision and then finding the dialogue with the audience and respecting the feedback. At the end of the day, I look at designing a product. There is the creator and the audience. It's the dialogue, very much like music or or literature, right? So that's kind of how I look at it.
Thank you very much, Ralf Groene, and thank you for staying with us.
Thank you very much. Grazie.